back and we lit, big dog. We back and we lit. Oh, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. As you all know, No Kings protests are happening all over the country today, and we will deep dive into what the No Kings protests are about. We're going to take a deep dive into it. Alright. So, and I'm going to give y'all some context of what the No Kings protests are about. And I guess, we're just going to tap in. Thanks to everybody who follows on YouTube, follows on Twitch, or follows on Facebook. If you can find me at any of those Everyday PJ on Twitch and Facebook. No Kings protests are happening all across America right now, or all today. From what I know, very peaceful. I guess we can find out some more about it. Or people, if anybody joined the No Kings protests, please state that in the comments section. I'd like to know your experience. I might take some call-ins about this and other topics that we have tonight. So without further ado, let's get into it, because it was a lot.
Break. Breaking.
Here, say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here.
This is in Denver, Colorado. It's Boston, Washington, D.C.
Our nation's democracy is at stake, and we are here to say we are a nation that will not be bowing down to any authoritarian rule. We are not going to be ruled by a king.
Being here in Germany, especially considering the history that's here, we have a unique perspective to look and say, that's not okay. Normalizing the little things, letting it go down the slope is very much not okay. And we feel like this is one thing that we can do. We can't show up there, but we can show up here.
Okay, so what does this mean? The No Kings protest is a nationwide protest movement titled No Kings, held rallies and marches across cities in the United States, demonstrate against the administration of President Donald Trump. The movement and its organizers accused Trump of authoritarian tendencies and acting more like a monarch than an elected official. Okay? Yeah. So response from officials and media. The Democratic politicians say several prominent Democrats participated in or supported the rallies, including former Vice President Kamala Harris, former Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff, I guess that's her husband, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, and Senator Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas. They framed the protests as a defense of democracy. Republicans counter criticism. Republicans dismissed the events as hate America or far left rallies. Some of Trump's political accounts mocked the protests on social media, including one post from a Trump campaign account with an AI-generated image of Trump wearing a crown. Wow, hey, they pushing the line. I think Trump is trolling, but he's really pushing the line on this whole Kings thing. Like, so don't put nothing past him at all.
Right now, News Nation is tracking the nationwide No Kings rallies, millions of demonstrators gathering all over the country. These massive rallies demonstrating against President Trump's agenda. Independent Senator from Vermont, Bernie Sanders, expected to headline D.C., and we are bringing you the latest from these nationwide rallies. We've got cameras everywhere. Right now, you're taking a live look at the No Kings rallies in New York and Washington, D.C. on your split. Thousands of protesters are flooding the streets of major metros, calling out the Trump administration. And these demonstrators claim the president is trampling the Constitution. But the GOP is pushing back, dubbing the protests anti-American. We're going to talk about it now. Joining us to discuss, Republican strategist John Thomas, Nest Point managing director, and Democratic strategist Anthony Davis, founder and CEO of the Davis System. Thank you both for being here today. John, let's start with you because we're taking a look at the Associated Press. Nearly 2/3 of Americans disapprove, as we take a look at the numbers, they disapprove of the president's job performance in his second term. So we take a look at these mass protests and we wonder if it signals about the public's perception of President Trump and his policies. How do you see it?
Well, first, a couple things. One is President Trump's approval rating actually has ticked up 2 points during the shutdown, which signals to me that Americans are siding with Trump and the Republicans. And I think I'm not entirely sure. This brings me my next point. I'm not entirely sure what this No Kings protest is about. Are they insinuating that he wasn't duly elected? Are they protesting the military celebration that Trump administration is doing, the same military peace through strength that's bringing unprecedented peace across the world and might bring this Ukraine war to an end? I'm not entirely sure. It seems like they don't like secure borders. They just don't like the Trump policies, I guess. But it also seems like they're saying he's an oligarch. I'm mixed on their messaging, and I don't quite get it.
Yeah, I mean, we've got No King signs everywhere, and there are some other colorful signs there as well. Anthony, Republican lawmakers, including Speaker Mike Johnson, are calling today's protests Hate America rallies. So what do you say to Republicans who claim these demonstrations are anti-American?
Well, I say that when you have Republican members of Congress calling these Hate America rallies, it's not only dangerous, it's quite literally not true. America was founded by fighting a revolution to reject a monarch. And when our country starts to bow to one man, showing up to protest feels as though the most patriotic thing one can do. So to call these Hate America rallies is not only inaccurate, it's dangerous, and it's discouraging of folks exercising their First Amendment right.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to continue to watch it all unfold, but it is many people, we've had a couple of guests on our program today saying that they are concerned about
So you have 2 point of views, one more right-leaning, one more left-leaning. The Republican guy, he says he don't even know what's the march about. There's no one wants to be the king. No, well, when you tweet out pictures of you wearing a crown, it's kind of like, just like when he insinuated running for president, not even running for president, but continuing to be president after 2028 because he says you can't have an election during wartime. So what does that say? If a war starts up around 2027, you know the game plan. I mean, it is what it is. Again, when the second guy dropped the facts about how this country was founded, I heard in a earlier video where they said immigrants are welcome here. Yes, they are welcome here, but please come legally because this is what everything is about. Like illegal immigrants, the government shut down. The more we have illegal immigrants coming, is continuing the problem. But if you could come here legally, welcome. I mean, unless you're from majority white countries like Denmark, where Trump said they want more people from there, whether you're legal or illegal, but that's neither here nor there.
Johnson's showing up and saying what he said. I'm going to actually ask you, John, to weigh in on that before we move on to the next subject.
Yeah, I actually think Speaker Johnson's right here. I mean, it seems like what the protests, if I'm trying to parse through some of the signs and language here, but it seems like the protests are largely protesting, again, some of President Trump's and the administration's most fundamental policies that got him elected by the people. That's the opposite of a monarchy, the opposite of a king. These policies are immensely popular. And look, a lot of the protesters that I've seen just through watching video are anti-Israel, pro-Hamas, pro-legal immigrant, anti kind of American immigration policy. So I think it's fair for the speaker to say what he said here.
All right, I'm going to give you a chance to weigh in. Anthony, I see you shaking your head.
Well, when you're in the middle of a government shutdown, when people have seen mass officers carrying out immigration detentions, federal troops occupying American cities, education resources, environmental and voting protections being slashed, one can question how popular these decisions by the Trump administration truly is. And we can see that in the approval ratings, and we can also see that in 2,600 events being organized, not only here in America, but worldwide today.
So I am here in Houston, Texas. Behind me, we're seeing the start of the day's No King's Day programming. We have a couple thousand people. You may not be able to fully see them, but they're going to be walking up the street, up Walker Street to City Hall, where they expect upwards of 15,000 people to again gather in today's No King's Day protest. Now, several people I've spoken to say this demonstration, a direct response to what they feel is an infringement on their constitutional rights by the Trump administration. Some people pointed to things like Jimmy Kimmel's show getting pulled, other people pointing to the administration's attacks on DEI, and others referencing what we've seen from ICE and Immigration and Customs Enforcement personnel as they ramp up deportations.
He also forgot to mention the indictment on Letitia James, the indictment on, was it James Comey, more indictments to come. People who politically attacked Trump during his first administration, Trump is now going after them, which further explains, hey, I mean, he might not be a king because it's America. He might not be a king, but he's showing a lot of actions that kings would make had they had the power. If he had the power, they would be in prison right now. Let's just put it like that. If he had the power, those people would be in prison. He specifically appointed a judge to target Letitia James and James Comey. He specifically did this. If that's not, you know, a monarch, then it's close to it.
Jimmy Kimmel is allowed to say whatever he wants, and it was a very soft hit, frankly, and then suddenly he's...
So I am here in Houston, Texas.
Right now.
So I am here in...
Fuck it, let's go to the next one.
Organizers say 1 million people took to the streets today across the U.S. protesting the Trump administration with so-called No Kings demonstrations. This is the third No Kings Day we have seen since President Trump returned to the White House. Protesters today pushing back on the government shutdown and the administration's federal takeover of major cities. News Nation's Mills Hayes is live for us in Chicago. Of course, one of the administration's biggest targets with that, federal takeover. Mills, what's the latest on the protest there?
Hi, Brooke. Well, there still are some protesters that are trickling about, but most everyone has dispersed. And there were thousands, if not tens of thousands of people that were downtown earlier today. It started a little bit before noon, and then it lasted for about 3 to 4 hours. And we saw tons of people out there, people who are really frustrated with what's happening right now with the Trump administration. And of course, you know, Chicago has really been a flashpoint for a lot of the immigration policies from President Trump. We've seen ICE enforcement operations all across the Chicagoland area. And of course, we've seen those protests outside of the Broadview ICE facility just west of Chicago. And we spoke with lots of people who were frustrated about that, of course, and even one immigrants' rights leader saying that this month has been the most horrific month for the immigrant community here in Chicago. And we even saw Governor Pritzker join the marchers as they left from Grant Park all the way downtown. They walked for about 7 blocks until they got to Chicago. And we even saw Governor Pritzker join the marchers as they left from Grant Park all the way downtown. They walked for about 7 blocks until they got to Trump Tower. And in order for all of those people to actually walk those blocks, it took almost 2 hours for those people to walk through the streets of Chicago. And we spoke with one Chicago police officer who was here during the first No Kings rally in June 14th in Chicago, and he told me that this one was about 3 to 5 times larger than the one in June. Of course, that one also coinciding with the 250th anniversary of our military, that huge military parade, as well as President Trump's birthday. But here today, lots of people, and we were able to speak with some protesters and even got to speak with Governor Pritzker really quick. Take a listen.
Look at the crowd. Look how peaceful, and everybody's standing up for democracy. I love it. Oh my God, if he's not hearing us, he's not listening.
I'm an aunt and great aunt, and I'm completely against the fascist way that the country is going. And I sent the idea to a friend of mine, and she made the shirts for us, and we just decided this is what we need.
With me nor my kids. They're brown. For my husband, I make him carry his passport everywhere he goes.
Those women, if you guys could tell, were wearing shirts that said Antifa, a play on the words, of course, from the group Antifa. And President Trump's administration has designated Antifa a terrorist organization within the last month. And those women telling me that to them, that's not what Antifa is all about, saying that it's not an organized group and that it's really just people who are against fascism, and that's what they see the Trump administration as. And so it was really peaceful throughout the day, and we also saw a lot of people wearing costumes throughout the day, the inflatables, and people wearing Statue of Liberty costumes as well, Brooke.
So Antifa is really anti-fascism, and they turned Antifa into a criminal organization. Is that what I'm hearing? That's... Oh, man. Well, at least they're not young Republicans.
I encourage you to watch. We call it the Hate America rally that'll happen Saturday. Let's see who shows up for that. I bet you see pro-Hamas supporters. I bet you see Antifa types.
The Democrat Party of yesterday is headed to the ash heap of history. These guys are playing to the most radical, small, and violent base in the country. You'll see them on Saturday on the mall. They just do not love this country, and these guys are afraid of them. We call it the Hate America rally because you'll see the hate for America all over this thing when they show up. Yeah, I mean, that's the rumor, Maria. The rumor is that they can't end this shutdown beforehand because this small but very violent and vocal group is the only one that's happy about this.
They have talking points. Talking points where they are trying to call Chuck Schumer and Democratic leaders violent, trying to call Democrats violent. Tom Evers in a press conference called them terrorists. Here we are several weeks after the horrible violence, the tragedy committed against Charlie Kirk. To be calling peaceful protesters, people have already protested last year, peaceful protesters, they are proudly calling Americans that are going to go out and exercise their First Amendment rights, calling them the, quote, hate America crowd. You see what's happened in 2025. You now have a guy who said that he was ruling by the Bible, who actually won't swear in an elected leader because she will help Congress get to the bottom of the biggest sex trafficking ring in modern American history. If you disagree with Donald Trump, if you believe in congressional and judicial checks and balances.
Yo, I think whatever is in those Epstein files, it has to be important. Whatever, because to do all this, the government shut down, not swearing in the next person who could potentially sway the vote on releasing the Epstein files, it could get serious. Now, I mean, if you're against pedophilia, just put it in the chat. Release the Epstein files. Whether you're a Republican or Democrat, I think if we do have any politicians, entertainers, preachers, anybody, if you on that Epstein Island and you engaged in pedophilia, I think you should be exposed. I don't give a damn what party you from. Bill Clinton, P. Diddy, Russell Simmons, Donald Trump. I don't know if all these people are on there, but I'm just saying, you a bunch of nasty mother. And y'all need to be exposed. That's just a fact.
Checks and balances.
I encourage you to watch.
Lord have mercy. Now this is in Portland. Portland is supposed to be on fire right now.
We can agree to disagree.
Donald Trump said Portland was on fire. Doesn't look like it's on fire right now. Look like they all came together to stop the violence, the chaos and confusion that Donald Trump has been saying has been going on in Oregon. It turns out 40,000 people turned out for this No Kings protest, but it doesn't look like it's on fire. Now, I don't know what's going on with the crime. I'm not from Oregon. They probably took their time off to do this. And after the march, they're going right back to the crime. Portland is a hellhole, according to Republicans. That's downtown Dallas. If y'all don't know, it's downtown Dallas. This is Washington, D.C. This is L.A.
I like to remind people, in the Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 8, refers to promoting the progress of science and useful arts. In 1787, the people who crafted these documents realized the value of science for our health, our well-being, and especially our international competitiveness. So by ignoring the facts of science, that's extraordinary, that's unconstitutional, that's not in anyone's best interest. But cutting the budget, especially to NASA, is thoughtless. NASA is the best brand the United States has, recognized around the world as the best that the United States brings to civilization. There's going to be another Sputnik moment, as it's called, when China National Space Administration lands taikonauts on the moon in about 2030. There's going to be another Sputnik moment when we realize that China launched missions to Mars in 2028 and they will bring rock samples from Mars before the U.S. does. If you're happy with the China National Space Administration making all those discoveries first, I'm surprised. I think this protest at this size is going to get these guys and gals to change direction.
And what do you have as your message to the people today? What are you going to say on stage?
Well, the message is no thrones, no crown, no king. We're not running this country with a king. And so we're going to vote to throw the people out who want a king and replace them with people who want the rule of law.
Yeah, Republicans are not changing their stance on anything. Most of them don't have a backbone, and they are just being silent. They're the silent majority. Is that what silent majority means? That you have the majority of the House and the Senate and Congress overall, and you're silent to what the American people are asking for. That's what you call the silent majority? I don't know. Possibly so. Sounds about right. But shout out to Bill Nye, man. I grew up trying a lot of experiments from this guy. He was terrible for my youth because I've messed some stuff up.
We are here today because it is this city, it is this state that cannot, will not, and will never bend a knee to any regime that tells us that we do not belong.
This is New York City, by the way.
We have seen a young black man in Chicago thrown to the ground, put in handcuffs, while people called out, but he's a citizen. We have seen a woman outside of a school get thrown down and put in handcuffs. As she said, they don't have a warrant. They won't show me a warrant. They had to release her later. We are America, and we won't let you take her.
That's not loud enough. Today we say no kings. In Washington, D.C., there is a total breakdown of our democracy. Speaker Johnson has become a wholly owned subsidiary of Donald Trump. He has shut down the House of Representatives, where we do the work for the people. Tyranny and liberty cannot live in the same house. So today we say no kings.
This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Donald Trump has got to go. Justice. When do we want? Now. If we don't get it, what do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. No kings. USA where freedom reigns. No crowns. No kings.
Some high-profile Democrats are joining large crowds in several big cities, including Washington, D.C., for the No Kings anti-Trump rallies. Republicans are dismissing the demonstrations. House Speaker Mike Johnson calls them, quote, hate America rallies. Madison Scarpino is live in Atlanta from a rally site there. Hi, Madison.
Hey, Rich, we are about 2 hours into this Atlanta No Kings rally. And organizers say the goal is, quote, keeping a democracy intact.
Yo, why does the gingerbread have a sign?
And
oh my God. Oh yeah, if y'all can see it. Oh, let me go back a little.
Hey, Rich, we are about.
The gingerbread man got a sign. Trump wears a thong. Bro, how can you take this stuff serious? You know, we're supposed to be out here really serious. And you have the gingerbread man holding a sign that says Trump wears a thong. Yo, this shit is crazy.
2 hours into this Atlanta No Kings rally, and organizers say the goal is, quote, keeping democracy intact. I'll step out of the way to give our viewers a look at just how big this crowd is. People are shoulder to shoulder. They're waving signs. They're getting fired up as these guest speakers are talking. And organizers say they're expecting up to 10,000 people here today, which is checking out as of now. And this is just one of the more than 2,500 rallies planned nationwide today, like in Washington, D.C. Here's a live look at the protests there. And several high-profile Democrats are attending amid the government
Some high
Democrats are attending amid the government shutdown. That includes people like Senators Chuck Schumer, Bernie Sanders, and others. And overall, people attending these rallies say President Trump is acting more like a king. They believe he's abusing his power, specifically citing recent ICE arrests and National Guard troops in U.S. cities. But lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have very different opinions about these protests.
We refer to it by its more accurate description, the Hate America rally, okay? And I'm not sure how anybody can refute that.
What you'll see this weekend is what patriotism looks like. People showing up to express opposition to the extremism that Donald Trump has been unleashing on the American people and Donald Trump's failures.
We're going to be keeping an eye on all of the rallies going on across the country today, looking out for any potential clashes, as governors in both Texas and Virginia say that they have their state's National Guard ready in case that they're needed anywhere. Rich.
We'll see how it goes. Madison Scarpino live for us in the crowd. Madison, thank you. Some high-profile Democrats are joining large crowds in several big cities, including
Dear old Cancun Cruise. Also wanted to say that we're all here. We're paid by George Soros. Does anyone know where we pick up our checks? I've got news for you, Ted Cruz. We all hate you for free. Dear old.
Oh yeah, because they saying that the protesters are being paid to be out there. You think the protesters are being paid to be out there? That's, you know, I don't know how much they would be getting paid, but every time there's a class action lawsuit and they say, oh, you could get paid up to $1,000, and then I receive this virtual debit card that has about $3.50 on it. That's part of my cut of that, you know. Never mind. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I will join the marchers to celebrate what makes this country so great. It is vital Americans from one end of the country to the other stand up for our basic freedoms, because Donald Trump is eroding our democracy day by day by day. So this weekend, I encourage Americans everywhere, Americans who love this country, who care about our democracy. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican or independent, a liberal or a moderate or conservative. The vast majority of Americans want to preserve this democracy. And the No Kings rally says that in a very strong way, where millions of Americans, millions, will come together to say just that we don't want kings in America. I will join the marchers.
The crowd is for sure building here at Father Duffy Square, and what is the second No Kings Day demonstration we are seeing across the country this year. You can take a look at those signs. Demonstrators are here with their flags, some even with their children. And the first No Kings Day demonstration in June was triggered by President Donald Trump's military parade. This time around, it's sparked by the prolonged government shutdown, along with the deployment of federal authorities towards immigration enforcement and at other demonstrations across the country. Some of these signs here we're seeing say America was built by immigrants. We don't bow to billionaires. Just a lot of frustration from demonstrators here and across the country, calling the Trump administration authoritarian. And this is one of thousands of demonstrations being held across the country today.
We're now on 26th and 7th, and we have a producer who's more than 10 blocks behind us and says there is no end in sight in terms of how far this protest is going. We're trying right now to get an updated estimate. Originally, they thought about 200,000 people, but right now, best guesses are that they've far exceeded that. Just the turnout here in this city. They've been estimating more than 5 million people are going to take part in all the cities, big and small, that are taking part in this movement. Here in New York, number one concern is that the scenes that we're seeing play out in the city of Chicago right now, the aggressive immigration enforcement, the citizens, the teenagers who have been detained by federal agents in recent days, that's a scene that's going to come here very soon to New York. Already the administration has basically telegraphed this, the president threatening that if Zoran Mamdani, who's very likely to become mayor in a few weeks, does become the mayor of the city, that soon those kinds of images are coming here. Take a listen to a...
Yeah, New York got so many immigrants. Now, if you go to, I guess it's called Canal Street, there's like a line of people that be selling stuff. I know they ain't legal, but they not like Mexicans or anything, but they ain't American. But yeah, they coming to New York next. Believe me, ICE will be in New York.
Conversation that I had with a Vietnam veteran, 82 years old, named Fred Herrera, as he spells out what's at stake here, Ali.
This sign, when I saw young kids being dragged out, I've dealt with real soldiers. American soldiers, North Vietnamese soldiers. These are real soldiers. These are brave men. Soldiers fight other soldiers. Soldiers do not fight women and children. What ICE is doing is outrageous.
He hit that keynote. Women, you gotta throw in women and children to get everybody on your side.
They are a paramilitary force. That's why I'm using the term soldier.
What would your message be to someone who is maybe fearful of taking part in a protest, worried that this administration will crack down on them or their loved ones? What would you say to someone who's unsure of how to speak up right now?
What would I say? I have the answer on the other side.
Can you read this for me? Lift it up. Protest now.
Protest now or bow down later.
Those are your options?
Yes.
We're now on 20.
That's as American as motherhood, baseball, and apple pie. I support the right of every single American to participate in the rallies that are going to take place this week. And showing up to express dissent against an out-of-control administration. That's as American as motherhood, baseball, and apple pie. That's the First Amendment. And the notion that this unhinged White House spokesperson would suggest that that's hateful. That's not hateful. What's hateful is what happened on January 6th. That was a Hate America rally sponsored by Donald Trump and his sycophants who incited a violent mob to storm the Capitol. That's what hate looks like. What you'll see this weekend is what patriotism looks like. People showing up to express opposition to the extremism that Donald Trump has been unleashing on the American people, and Donald Trump's failures, the Republican failure to keep their core promise. That's
would anybody like to touch on that? Like, you know, the January 6th rally, the peaceful protest of January 6th, the insurrection. There really wasn't an insurrection, but so many people were arrested. Even one person went as far as getting shot point blank by a White House security guard. Rest her soul, but she F-A-F-O. And that was a violent. They was calling for the vice president's head. They were standing on Nancy Pelosi's desk. Although we haven't had any reports of arrest across the country in these No Kings rallies, this is a peaceful protest. This is what America's about. Whether you're Republican or Democrat, this is what it's about. This is exactly what it's about. Peaceful protest, and we can do that as Americans. You have that right. So whether you like it or not, you have that right. January 6th shouldn't have happened. The George Floyd riots and stuff like that shouldn't have happened. But there were peaceful protests all around. But then the looting and the shit, that shouldn't have happened. We just got to keep it funky. We got to all across the board. But today was peaceful as an American pie or baseball or whatever he said. Okay, so just to keep it clear, it's your right as an American to peacefully protest. So whether you like it or not, it happened.
Look at this. Millions of people across the country marching as we speak against the policies of President Trump. This is Boston. Look at that. We'll continue to follow these rallies throughout the day here on MSNBC. Wow. All right, coming up.
But we also know there's a ProPublica investigation that more than 170 Americans have been detained by ICE, with 20 held for more than a day without being able to contact their lawyer or a loved one. And that's what the No Kings protest is about. Donald Trump says, I'm not a king. And yeah, we get it. You're not a king. You wish you were a king, and you're running this administration as if you should have those kinds of rights. The lack of respect for the Constitution and the laws of this country are astounding. And Trump even told Kristen Welker when he was on Meet the Press a few months ago that he didn't know if he had to uphold the Constitution. And in preparation for today's show, I just wanted to go over, a few of the things that people who are going to be out there on the streets peacefully protesting are upset about. Starting with the basics, signing an executive order to do away with birthright citizenship, which is literally in the Constitution. Sending troops into blue cities. Oh, you mean anchor unilaterally implementing tariffs, which Congress gets to do. I already talked about the 170 Americans.
He always cuts her off, little douchebag.
Cracking down on the First Amendment, detaining students for op-eds you don't like, targeting law firms, universities, reallocating funds appropriated by Congress to fund your big ICE force, firing inspectors generals that are looking into your friends like Elon Musk, making billions off of crypto scams, and your kids are running all. But administration has defied 1 in 3 judges that have ruled against him. And you're seeing that from judges appointed up from Reagan up to Donald Trump that are saying absolutely not. You are breaking the law in taking some of these actions. All of that is what No King's Day is about.
Then why are they always dressed?
Yeah, I hate that guy that sits over there and cuts her off every time she speaks. Is very annoying. Because he won't let her cook, and he always has something to say. It's like he got LD energy, and it's really annoying. I hate watching that show, but I watch it like I hate watch it. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all do that sometimes. Y'all like to see what, the back and forth, but you hate watch it because it's always a douchebag on there. Like, that's what I do with that show.
I'm at the No Kings protest here in Olympia, Washington, and I was told that all of these people behind me have been paid. So let's go ask them. Have you been paid to be here?
No, absolutely not.
Have you been paid to be here?
No, not at all. Here for free.
Excuse me, sir. Have you been paid to be here?
No.
That is weird. That is so weird. Have you been paid to be here?
Absolutely not.
No way.
Have you been paid to be here?
No, I haven't seen any checks yet.
That is weird. Have you been paid to be here?
Unfortunately not. I mean, I'd love a paycheck.
Have you been paid to be here?
Fuck no, dude. I would fight Trump's ass for free.
Have you all been paid to be here?
Absolutely not.
Have you been paid to be here?
Absolutely not.
Have you guys been paid to be here?
No.
We have not been paid to be here.
Have you been paid to be here?
Absolutely not.
That is weird. Have you all been paid to be here?
Nope.
Hell no.
I mean, devil's advocate, it's not like they would actually tell you that they've been paid to be here, but we're just going to take it at face value. No one was paid to be there.
No, hell no.
That is weird. Have you been paid to be here?
Absolutely not.
Have you been paid to be here?
I have not been paid to be here. I would pay.
Yo, what? She could have taped it to the back, but instead just released the Epstein files. I don't know what type of demonstration she's protesting, but it gotta be right. You know what I mean? Like, wow.
To come to save democracy.
Have you been paid to be here?
Absolutely not.
That is weird. Have you been paid to be here?
No, I certainly have not.
That is weird. Were you paid to be here?
Absolutely not.
No, not at all.
I asked so many people if they were paid to be here, and I did not have one person say yes, which is fucking weird. That is weird.
We're standing up against Donald Trump and his fascist regime. Look, tax the rich.
Look at that. F ice.
Make America give a.
They blame immigrants so you won't blame billionaires. Gotta love these signs. Who would Jesus deport? That's for you so-called Christians. No kings, no dictators. And this is just a magnificent piece of art. No kings, release the files. There we go.
They blame immigrants so you won't blame the billionaires. There you go. There you go. Hey, Kangos and Caco Tits, I'm not scared. That's a good one. Still not scared. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, there's so much love in this country. I don't know why they called this a rally of hate America. No, these people love America. Congress, do your job.
We can't just wait on elections to have our voices heard. We need everybody. I mean, everybody has something to lose with this administration.
Yes. And no king since 1776. And this is going straight to Donald Trump, by the way.
Oh, I love it. Get
Okay.
there, man.
Is there anything you want to say to him?
Fuck you, asshole.
This is Big Zeus. Checking in with these America's wonderful people. This is a love rally, not a hate rally. You heard it here first. Thank you.
Gotta love these true patriots right here.
No justice! No justice!
Thank you.
If we don't get it, shut it down. And if we don't get it,
shut it down.
If we don't get it,
shut it down.
If we don't get it, shut it down.
Power. We got the power.
That's right. The power's with us, the people. Impeach the pedophile. 8647. Democracy does not fear protest. Dictators do. Do not obey in advance. No kings, no Trump takeover. What a cute pooch.
Do it like
Can you hear Oakland sing? No king, no king.
Hey.
So grateful.
Let's go. Look at that. We got the helicopter out there. Wow. Oh, I like this sign. You want cheaper egg prices? You got measles. Is that what that says? There you go. You got a healthy crowd.
Together, say, we outside.
We outside.
We ready.
We ready.
Whose street?
Our street.
Whose street? Our street. See your fist in the air.
Put them in the air.
Separate them
There you
from a
go.
child.
You got two fists up. Let's go.
That's the people who say you're going to respect our young people of every kind.
Amen.
Thank you for your hospitality. We ready to do this. Here, immigrants are, well, say it loud, no hate. No fear. What? Immigrants are, everybody no hate. No fear. Hey. Immigrants are, we said no hate. No fear. Come on. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate. No fear. What? Immigrants are welcome here. Nothing. No kings. No kings. Let's do it. Can you hear?
Yeah, they're gonna be the next state, next city that Trump invades with ICE. Listen, I get it that we welcome immigrants, but we have to have a process to make them legal, or we're going to continue to be in this same spiraling situation, because it's not just going to be Donald Trump. There's going to be another president next election. There's going to be another Republican president at some time, and they have signed They have drew the line in the sand where they stand on illegal immigration. So it's gonna get under control. So if you come in here illegal, mind you, you gotta come here legally. Like, I guess that's just what it is. I understand we want to be inclusive in our country, but you gotta do it legally. That's just, I don't know how much I can stress that, you know what I mean? But it's just what it is. We gotta get that under control, because that's what it is. We're gonna keep having the same fight over and over.
Excuse me, sir. Do you mind if I ask you a quick question? How much were you paid to be here today? All right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Love it.
So the shutdown continues. The Republican Party's not going to pay $1.5 trillion to illegal immigrants coming into our country, coming in for a lot of reasons, coming in from prisons, from jails, from all over the place, from Venezuela, many countries. We're not going to do that. So the shutdown continues. It's a Democrat shutdown. It's a Schumer shutdown because his career has failed and it's over. I met with President Zelensky, as you know, today, and we had a very good meeting, very cordial meeting. In my opinion, they should stop the war immediately. You go by the battle line wherever it is, otherwise it's too complicated. You'll never be able to figure it out. You stop at the battle line, and both sides should go home, go to their families, stop the killing, and that should be it. Stop right now at the battle line. I told that to President Zelensky. I told it to President Putin. Thank you very much, everybody. So the shutdown.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the whole No Kings rally. Again, you know, I get it. There's a lot of things going on across the country that is showing that Project 2025 is in effect. So, you know, the most we can do is vote, show up. If you ain't registered to vote, register to vote. I mean, it's a simple, easy process. Get registered in your area. You gotta walk the walk. Like, this is talking, and then we talk enough until we blue in the face. But we gotta go up and show up at the polls. I mean, that's just a fact. It's just a fact. Like, right now, the government is shut down based on healthcare principles, but I'll be dropping those videos tomorrow or some form of fashion. But it's serious out there for people. It's not just going to protest dressed up as a gingerbread man. It's more than that. Yeah, it's fun and exciting. I know people had fun out there. It was peaceful. That's all good and well. But it don't mean nothing if we ain't doing nothing at the polls. That's a fact. So, show up, okay? Democrats just got to do better. Democrats definitely have to do better with picking a future presidential candidate. Got to do better at that. Got to do better, and that's the only way we're gonna do it. You know, Republicans, I don't know if Republicans have a successor who's going to follow Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump thinks that he's going to be there in 2028. I'm almost sure he thinks he's going to be there. But if he's not there, they're going to find the next best person. And yeah, it's going to get serious. It's about to get serious.
And I'll tell you, the Democrats, they don't talk about this. You know, we're getting rid of programs that we didn't like, but that were negotiated in, but we didn't like. We're terminating those programs, and they're going to be terminated on a permanent basis. And it's thousands of people, and it's billions of dollars. We're getting rid of a lot of things that we never wanted because of the fact that they made this stupid move. And they don't want to talk about it. You know, they have their day coming up. I hear very few people are going to be there, by the way. But they have their day coming up, and they want to have their day in the sun. But they should really make a deal. So what we're doing, I mean, they call him Darth Vader, but he's actually a very nice person, Russell Vogt. But Russell Vogt is really terminating tremendous numbers of Democrat projects. There's not only jobs. I mean, the project in Manhattan, the project in New York, it's billions and billions of dollars that Schumer has worked 20 years to get. It's terminated. Tell him it's terminated, Jennifer.
Oh, you know what? We were supposed to go over the list of programs, so all right, so also on this Russell Vault, like, remember Trump said, I don't know about Project 2025. This is not something that I, had any say in. I don't know where it came from. I remember that. Now, Russell Vought is a key architect of Project 2025. He said, yeah, Russell Vought he shut down those Democratic programs. He's doing that. Yeah. I remember last year people was like, man, y'all better watch out because they got this thing called Project 2025. Y'all got to watch out. Y'all got to see, man. I ain't never read it. I seen it. I seen, like they said, it was like 400 and something pages, and I was just like, I'm not gonna read that. But because I didn't really, who knew? But then, over time, people started talking more and more about it. It was key people just going through it, thumbing through it, and finding out things about this Project 2025. And now, here in 2025, they are pushing Project 2025. It didn't take long for Donald Trump to get in line. If he wasn't on board with Project 2025, this confirms that he is on board with Project 20. In fact, he's calling it out by name damn near. Just saying project, this project. All right. So I don't think Trump released a list because it said nothing has been updated since 4 days ago. But yeah, there's no list, so we just gonna keep going.
Trump has cut my food.
That was not the truth. He said he was gonna drop a list Friday. We haven't received a list. It's Saturday.
Food stamps from $2,800 down to $350. Now, what am I supposed to do? Huh? So I literally just got this piece of mail today saying that due to new policy changes from the Trump administration, all this shit, whatever, that all these cuts and whatever he's doing over there, now they're telling me I have to go work. Now I have to go do all this. Well, I literally got 5 kids. Okay, I'm trying to sit here and spend time with them. I'm not trying to go work, 50, 60 hours a week so I can pay bills. I just really don't understand. I voted for him this last election because I thought what he had good was going on, but now all of a sudden, all this policy stuff's coming out, and now he's making all these cuts, and now he doesn't want to help the less fortunate people no more. I'm done with that guy. I'm not. If he gets voted in again, I'm leaving this country because I'm not dealing with this no more.
Did you guys realize that there's so many people talking about the food stamp cut that's going on, as far as like people not getting their food stamps for the month of November? But what I'm gonna say is probably not going to benefit you or change the narrative of what's going on for the month of November. But what I am going to say is that you guys realize that around the first of the month, when the majority of people get their food stamps around the first of the month, not everybody, some people get them like on the 3rd, the 15th, it all depends. I don't know if it goes by your last name or what, but Majority, if not all of these grocery stores around the U.S., they depend on those billions of dollars worth of food stamps to come in every single month. They prep for it every month at their grocery store. That's why when you go into a store around the first of the month, you see fresh grapes. Everything looks so fresh and pretty because they know that it's going to leave those shelves quick. You guys realize, even if it's just the month of November and people don't get their food stamps, do you know how bad that's going to hurt the grocery stores? All those turkeys that's coming from all those farms that's going to sit there, millions of turkeys, they're going to have to get that stuff away. They can't let it just sit there and spoil. All that meat that sits there, guys, they have to mark that meat down and give it to you and sell it to you for discounted prices. Only people with cash is going to be able to afford that food. You guys remember, you guys realize how bad it's going to hurt the meat producers, the butchers, the farmers, the people who produce the vegetables and everything. So this is way bigger than you guys think. A lot of people is thinking, well, Thanksgiving's going to be bad. It could be bad if people don't get their food stamps because they're dependent on it. But just think about how big of a freaking disaster it's going to.
Hey, man, I agree. Like, it's the food stamps is just a pinch of what's coming, you know. When I didn't even think about it like that. I was thinking like, you know, just feed families, but I didn't even think about it as in the grocery store is going to take a hit. Not only that, the grocery supplier is going to take a hit. So it's not just going to affect the grocery store, because every city, y'all got these wholesale grocery stores, or these big old places that distribute all the food around to different grocery stores. Those are going to take a hit. They're going to be backed up because they're going to have food in their freezers that's just not moving. Now, who was also going to take a hit is you know, Walmart definitely going to take it. Well, I don't know. Walmart, they don't be having fresh shit anyway. But, you know, your local markets, the local markets are really going to take a hit. Because, you know, there's in your local markets, especially in the poor side of town, that market that depends on people coming in with their food stamps, yeah, they're going to take a hit too. So if you got food stamps, don't be out there buying sodas at 7-Eleven. You better save them joints. You better stretch some of the meals out. You got to thug it out though.
Be on our economy, man. All it's going to take is just 1 month of people not getting their food stamps, and watch what happens in those grocery stores. Those meat prices is going to drop. Those vegetable prices is going to drop. Those fruit prices is going to drop. They're not going to throw that stuff in the trash can, guys. Not when they can at least make something off of it. But you guys leave me your comments on this topic. I'm just really.
I mean, that would be great. That would be great for the people who paying cash for it. I definitely agree. Cause, bro, I went to go buy some stuff for some lasagna tomorrow. Now I make the best lasagna in the world, and you can actually go to my YouTube page and type in lasagna, and you'll find my lasagna. But fuck that. The price of a little thing of hamburger meat was like $7. I remember paying like $3 for this just a few years ago. And I know inflation happens, but $7 for this little thing of meat, I was like, damn. Parmesan cheese is now almost $5 for Parmesan cheese. What else did I have to buy? Milk was high. You know, at this point, I don't even look at the price. I'm not rich, but I ain't trying to be depressed when I just be depressed as I'm ringing it up. I know I'm going to get the food regardless. But when I'm ringing it up, I'm like, damn, I'm at one meal, $44 at the grocery store. Now, I'm going to be eating that meal all week long. You damn right, I'm going to be eating lasagna till I'm blue in the face, okay? But the fact of the matter is, it was $44. And yeah, it's going to stretch, but think about it. If I had a family of 4, that one meal, well, that's $10 a plate. Really. You know what I'm saying? Family of 4, that's $10 a plate. But that's just the lasagna. I ain't even buy no green beans. I didn't buy no damn cornbread. I didn't buy no garlic bread. I ain't buy no soda. Nothing. I just bought the stuff. I was like, and I was like, damn, I'm already. Whoa. Yeah. So I wouldn't mind it going down just for a week or two. You know, the price is going down for a week or two. I ain't mad at it.
Well, 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 this is an important cup of tea. A whole lot of y'all have reached out to me today about the news that's spreading that people that receive SNAP benefits will not receive their benefits starting November 1st. SNAP benefits, EBT, that is food stamps. And yes, a letter was sent to states to tell them to withhold releasing funds to recipients, dear. And in that letter, they were talking about the shutdown. But that's not what's going on. No, baby, I've got the entire cup of tea. So what you may not know is that back in May, the current regime sent letters all across the US of A to the SNAP departments, to the EBT departments, requesting data on EBT recipients, those who receive food stamp benefits, going all the way back, this is important, all the way back to 2020. Now, what was going on in the United States in 2020? The flu-apocalypse. And because of the flu-apocalypse, people in the United States were receiving SNAP benefits that had never received SNAP benefits before under emergency SNAP benefits. Millions of Americans who had never received SNAP benefits before were receiving them because we were in a national emergency because of the flu-apocalypse. Just like people who had never before qualified for unemployment because they were 1099 employees were receiving unemployment benefits because we were in a crisis here. Okay. So it's safe to say that a whole lot of the people who started freshly and newly receiving benefits in 2020 are no longer receiving those benefits anymore because that emergency is over. Right? Right. Now, blue states...
God damn.
Did you...
Well, this... Okay. Right. Now, blue states refute 27 blues. No, wait. 27 states turned over that data. Red states. They turned over that data to the federal government about who in their state receives these SNAP benefits. And this isn't regular data. This is all your personal information. You see, we already give data to the federal government about SNAP benefits, not the names of the people who receive it or their home or addresses or their social security numbers or all that other stuff that you put on those applications. Just data about how many people are receiving the benefits and what the amounts are. That's normal. But asking for all this personal data is not normal. And blue states came out to say, nope, we're not sending you this data because this is just another play by this regime to collect data on Americans for surveillance for immigration operations. And they refused to send in that private data to the current regime. And it pissed off the current regime, dear. It did. It pissed them off because legally, these states don't have to turn over that data. They don't have to. Nope, they don't have to. And it's pissed off the current administration. So in a play to try to force Democratic states to hand over your private information, they're threatening to withhold benefits. And it's an empty threat because the federal government doesn't have the authority to come into your state and force EBT to withhold your benefits. However, alarm bells should be going off for you today if you are living in a red state, because these 27 red states complied right away in May and handed over that data to the regime. So there's no reason to believe that those red states wouldn't once again comply with the administration and withhold those benefits. Now, if you live in a red state, your red state actually has the right to deny this request legally and still issue you your EBT benefits, dear. They don't have the right to stop it in any kind of way. We're going to have to see how this plays out today. But it's making the current regime look very, very guilty, honey. That they're just wanting to collect data, just like Blue State said, for their little immigration and surveillance plays. And imagine the amount of data on Americans they would receive through EBT going all the way back to 2020. They would receive data and personal private information on American citizens who no longer even receive these benefits, dear. It would be a huge data haul. Well, 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 this is an...
This goddamn man on the damn.
They done shut down. I need to know what's going on. I got 9 kids to feed. 9 babies. And I want to know why they ain't put my food stuff on their car. I done been waiting. I done did my application. And I got 3 handicapped babies. I need to know why my food stamps ain't on my car. This is not right. This ain't fair. I don't care about no shutdown or none of that. But I've been calm. I've been calling. Everybody ignoring me. I done been here 3, 4, 5 times. I want to know why ain't my food stamps on my card. I got 9 babies to feed. Ma'am, I done been calling. I done been down here, and I'm tired. I done been there and did all that. They still ain't put my food stamps on because of the shutdown. This is not fair. I'm tired. I done did all that. Now I need to know what the supervisor or somebody. I need somebody to help me. I got 9 kids to feed. 9 kids. 4 of them ain't mine. I'm taking care of other people's kids. I'm old. I'm tired. I got arthritis. I'm tired of coming back and forth down here about my food stamp. I done had an appointment now. They told me my card money supposed to be on my card. It ain't on there yet. Y'all gotta fix this now. I don't have nothing to do with that shutdown. I'm stressed out. I'm a single mama and I'm helping other people kids. Now I need my stamps now. I ain't gonna keep going through this. I'm already going through a lot of pain. Okay, now here's my 5th time coming down. I had an interview and all. Now this ain't fair how y'all doing people. This ain't fair. I done been all right there. Y'all done did my interview and all that. I still ain't got my stamps. Still ain't got my stamp. Y'all done let them people shut down the government. Now they ain't gonna give me my stamp.
It's so sad.
And I don't want to go to jail. So that's where I'm going next when it comes to these babies. Now I gotta go steal and shit. Now I gotta go steal food to put in my house. Y'all ain't got no boxes of food here? Y'all ain't got no food to give me? Y'all don't have nothing to give me? Don't be recording me, ma'am.
Why are these people placed like that?
Don't record me. They done shut down. I need to know what's going on. I got 9 kids.
Hey, so I work for the welfare office in my local county. I'm in Pennsylvania, and we received an email today, this afternoon, that SNAP benefits, food stamp benefits, if the federal government is still shut down, will not be released in November, and that any applications after the 15th, which were 2 days ago, will not be issued. So it is true. I know we're seeing a lot of different stuff online, articles, but it is true. I've been officially notified as an employee with the state at the welfare office. So if the federal government does not come up and running as of November, food stamps will not be issued. We do not rely on the world systems, church, to provide for us. God will provide for you. He will sustain you because he is your provider before everything. So I wanted to release this to make sure everybody is informed so the churches can prepare and for the people to be prepared. But it is happening, and may it be a time of unity amongst brothers and sisters in Christ and for the church to step into its rightful place. All right, God bless you.
Stop freaking out about your food stamps for November. So
if you are a SNAP, an EBT recipient, a food stamp recipient, and you're hearing all of this gibberish and people are coming out and saying they work for the government and they did this and they heard this, they're doing it for views, okay? If they call out a bunch of stuff and get you guys in fear, it's going to make you watch it. Somebody who has done TikTok and knows how it works, these are all just tactics to get you to watch their videos. But I have been seeing for many years government shutdowns. They would never allow their citizens, millions and millions.
Nah, I call Cap. Now she is a content creator, but at the same time, it's happening. Like there's letters going out to people, emails going out to people in regards to this situation. So I wouldn't say like I'm not in fear, but I do know people who receive food stamps, so I get it. I get the importance of it. So it's not like, you know, it's just gonna be tough because those family members that you do have on food stamps, people like myself, I might get a call from a family member to be like, hey, we need to pitch in to help so-and-so out, which is great that my family has family to call, you know, but that's not everybody. So it's like, you know, at the same time, it's, you know, just look out for your family, you know what I mean? Or if you got a neighbor, if you know your neighbor, you know, throw them some canned goods or something, you know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, they ain't got to eat, you know, 4 or 5 course meals. They just got to get by. And I think Americans in this need, as an American, you know, reach out to your neighbor, go back to your old neighborhood and, you know, find somebody out there that, you know probably need help, or, you know, just be an American at the end of the day, because we know some people about to go through it. We don't know to the extent, but it seems the way the Democrats and Republicans are holding their positions right now, it seems as if this may go on, and I don't want to put it out there to put fear in people because I don't know. But I'm just looking at it, and as we looked at what was in the healthcare spending bill that Donald Trump and the Republicans want to take out, I get why they want to take it out. I see it. I understand it. I'm not a idiot, but also I see the flip side of it, where you take some of this stuff away, we're going to lose hospitals in these rural areas. We're going to lose. Now, I'm in the city. I'll be fine. It's a hospital here, there, everywhere. And I also have insurance. But it's a lot of rural area hospitals that will shut down. And that means driving 30, 45 minutes, an hour to the nearest hospital for most people, or these rural areas. And I'm in Oklahoma. It's a lot of rural area. You know what I mean? So this might not mean nothing for, you know, like Texas or California or Florida, you know, New York City. This might not mean much for them, but it means a lot for middle America. You know, Kansas, that mug is wide open. So, you know. Damn, that must. Anyway, I'm about sick of this internet. I done reset this damn internet twice today, but they gonna get it. AT&T gonna get a call from me tomorrow. Anyway, we've been on here 78 minutes.
I told y'all this was coming. Tell me what you think about this, y'all.
Rely on SNAP benefits to buy food will soon be impacted by the government shutdown if it continues. The Department of Agriculture says there will not be enough funding to pay for the month of November.
Wow.
Should the shutdown last that long, the USDA is saying that 42 million Americans rely on this program, including Nearly 2 million.
No more food stamp because of the government shutdown starting November 1st. If you have food stamp right now, I urge you to save your money. If you have to go on eggs and rice, then so be it. But save your money because we don't know exactly what's going to happen.
Don't buy
Hey,
eggs.
look,
You're going to
if
be out of
your
money
ass get
fast.
food stamps in the month of October, if you are a food stamp recipient and you get food stamps in the month of October, before you go running trying to sell your motherfucking food stamps for some seafood boil or some hair or some lashes or fit or some concert tickets, your ass better go put some grocery in that refrigerator and deep freezer. I ain't talking about no fucking Takis. I ain't talking about no Capri Suns. I ain't talking about none of that bullshit. Y'all better go put y'all fucking freezer on full. Y'all better go put y'all refrigerator on full. Y'all better go get them pantries stocked up with canned goods and non-perishable items as fast as you can. Now, we know how this shit go. Whenever it's a little crisis, a pandemic, everybody run to the stores and grab shit, and it's like, oh, well, we ain't really need to do all this. I ain't saying go flood the stores and script the shelves, but I'm going to tell y'all, the truth of the matter is this. For them people not to be issuing food stamps in the month of November. Now, for everybody that see this video, I want you to take your phone and Google how many recipients we have in the United States of America on EBT and food stamps alone. And when you see that number, I want you to go in and Google how many people are in the United States, preferably, or what they assume to be. And you will see how many people, how many lives, how many children, how many elderly, how many hell businesses depend on that. And then you will really see where I'm going with this. And then just think about this, well, a lot of the farmers who produce the crops for us to go in the store with an EBT card to buy grocery with, they getting put out of business. Yeah, they getting put out of business because of the fucking tariffs that they are receiving on crops and other shit. So with them not being able to produce the food and vegetables and fruits to go in the stores to get put on the shelves, for you to come in there with your EBT card and buy, the food source is getting limited two ways, from the fields to the EBT card. Because now the farmers ain't growing the crops to put in the stores, and they taking the fucking card away with the benefits for you to go in the store to buy shit. And y'all people don't really understand this. Y'all wake up every day and to y'all it's all about likes, views, follows, going viral. Every motherfucker on this internet, at some point in the day, they get thirsty, they get hungry, they gotta eat, they gotta drink. And these people making it hard for y'all. Y'all don't get that. So, like I'm telling y'all, the purpose of this video is, man, wake the fuck up. Y'all better look at y'all surroundings. Y'all better know what's going on. Like I said in my last video, if you're not resourceful, if you're not self-efficient, you finna be in a world of trouble. Because like I said, and it's gonna happen. And November is gonna be that time. November gonna hit, that's Thanksgiving. Everybody wanna go in the store and get all this food and do all this. That's when everybody gonna be shit out. Because you have a lot of people that's gonna wake up around that time and ain't gonna be able to go in the store and buy shit. You're gonna have a lot of people between now and November that's gonna go in the fucking store and rape that motherfucker. So by the time November hit, it's gonna be a lot of people, especially these big households. It's gonna be a lot of people that's shit out of luck, that's gonna feel it. And y'all walking around here playing, living y'all life, and y'all think every day y'all wake up and go to sleep, you take for granted, you feel entitled. You see what I mean? But this shit finna change, and I'm telling y'all, if you don't know what's going on, you better wake the fuck up.
Hey, man, I ain't hear him say one lie, because you see it. Somebody was just trying to sell me some damn stamps out. I mean, not me, somebody else. But yeah. Yeah. And it would have been a lot, but it would have filled my damn fridge up. I tell you what, I take it. I ain't too proud to beg. But the thing is, just thinking about it, if that person did sell their stamps, they gonna be shit out of luck come November. They will be shit out of luck. And I hope they didn't. But if they did, it was a good amount of food stamps. And I'm thinking if they got that much to sell, they must got a lot of damn food stamps. But yeah, selling your food stamps is crazy. I don't get it, because I be over here struggling, and I only got 2 mouths to feed daily. You know what I mean? So and sometimes it's not even worth it to buy food stamps. Like I buy food stamps, buy food to cook. I buy stuff, I make sandwiches and stuff, I take my lunch. But hell, I don't even eat dinner all the time. Like last night I went to bed hungry than a mother. Woke up today and didn't even eat till noon. So, and then I ate some like 3-day-old eggs that my daughter scrambled. Yeah, I was like, don't judge me though, in real life. But yeah, it's gonna be hard out there for some Americans. It's gonna be hard, bro. And it's like they said 43 million Americans get our food stamps recipients. That's about 1/6 of the country. It's just under 1/6 of the country, like 1/7, just over 1/7 of the country. If there's 300 million people, that's a lot of people. And shit. Anyway, I'm not dealing with this internet no more. I'm actually over it. They really pissed me off on my last live. I ain't gonna hold you. They pissed me off on my last live. Anyway, yeah, man. Shout out to everybody who came through and watched the live, man. Yeah. No Kings protest went peacefully. Food stamps is, it is what it is. I forgot we had somebody that was gonna call in, but I think they might be asleep or something. I don't remember. But yeah, it's just hopefully y'all get take care of your people. You know what I'm saying? And as far as the No Kings protest, it was peaceful, and we need to continue to have conversations within each other. You know what I'm saying? And take care of one another. Look out for one another, because regardless if you a Democrat or Republican, you still got to look out for thy neighbor. And we don't need a king. We not saying he is a king, but the things that he's doing is kind of king-like. Okay, so remember what we came from and where we going. We want to go forward. We want to be a progressive and strong nation. We want to do better in health and education. Bro, yeah, I probably just no. I can't download them because then I might can. I don't know. I can download on here, but I just don't. I don't know. It'd be kind of weird to play. I gotta figure it out. I'll figure it out. But yeah, definitely gotta do something different with this video. Actually right here was talking about the money for SNAP benefits, but we could pay $20 billion to Argentina when we could have funded SNAP like in a separate bill. There's things like even that little short-term bill that can take care of a lot of stuff, but again, that short-term bill would not allow Democrats to put forth the effort into the policies that they are continuing to try to fix. That would just shut that all out, and that's part of it, because they wouldn't even look at it. If they sign the short-term bill, Republicans won't even look at what the Democrats have in Project 2025, and the big beautiful one big beautiful bill would go through, and it'll just be bad for the country. Trust me. I mean, either way, Americans will take a hit, whether you're a Democrat or Republican. You as an American, somewhere down the line, will take a hit. So that's just what it is. And we just prepare yourself, prepare your family, start saving, because continue to save if you already been saving. Rainy day funds are, I know my rainy day fund took a hit this week. So look, It is what it is. It is what it is. You know, King's Day, united we stand, divided we fall. Hey, you know, I hate they said the hate America protest. I don't like that. I don't like that. Because it's really what America really was founded on. Like, no king. We didn't want a king. We didn't want to be ruled by England. That's kind of why we got our Declaration of Independence. That's where that started from, right? So we want to be our own independent country away from a king, and we don't want to go back to that. We don't want a monarchy. England may be doing well with it, but I don't know. I don't live in England. I don't know their problems. I don't know their social issues. Are they out there protesting and doing all this stuff? Maybe if they had it, you know, I don't know what Queen Elizabeth was like. I don't know if she was, you know, calling other, you know, people in the parliament nasty names and stuff like this. Maybe if there was somebody that was like, had some sense, it would probably make sense. But I don't think the current administrator and commander-in-chief is the right person. I think because he values dictators too much. He values Kim Chi or Kim Jong-un. What is that? Kim Jong-un. He values Putin too much. So if that's how he's gonna run this, you best believe if you on here saying anything bad about Trump in any capacity, oh, you out of here, dog. Don't even question his authority, because you out of here. You gonna have some people in suits at your door, and that's not American. That's un-American. That's not what we grew up proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. So I'm going to proudly stand up and protest. No kings. And that's all I have for y'all. Thank you, and have a great evening. They protesting in England right now. Well, there you go. That just shows. Thank y'all for joining. We lit, big dog.